I think a loot box system would really improve the current state of Tetrio. I'm pretty sure you said that as a joke, but the game kind of does need more monetization. Bro, this shit's getting expensive, man. I always talk about it, but like, dude, quick play, like, was not good for the budget, bro. Something else I will leak. This will be a Garbo leak, a certified Garbo leak. Get your clips ready. I have been looking into getting character art for the game and have been like very wary of the budget so far, just because like we don't want to spend too much, or we don't want to spend money we don't have. That's something I'm trying to get happen like now. The monetization in the game right now is ads and supporter. That's the two things that make money in the game. That like is fine for like a couple people, but it's not fine if we want to actually start getting like good assets, quality art, for example the background for the quick play tower, etc. Do we get more from supporter or ads? At the moment, ads make slightly more than supporter, but it's not by like a huge amount. It's like maybe like a 55-45. I thought supporter would have a higher percentage. It actually also depends on the month. Obviously, like in December, it's like peak ad time. All the advertisers are like spending big money to try and get people to buy shit. Chuck the Bitcoin wallet balance all on red. I'm gonna put it all on a Fortism asceticism parlay. That's how we're gonna fucking balance the budget. I was curious why there aren't more blockskin options built into the game. Something for the future. At some point, like, that kind of thing is inevitable. It's just what makes the most sense, right? Being a live service game. You certainly don't want to add, like, pay to win or anything like that, right? Generally, what everyone's kind of moved to and what works is the whale model. Most people will just play the game for free, but, like, the 1% of players will make up, like, let's say, like, 80% of your revenue. Cosmetics, that'd be the easiest way of doing that, because, like, you can just whale on, like, the super fancy cosmetics or something. Now, obviously, there's a lot of asterisks that you want to address with like the exploitation of whales. You don't actually want to do something that like what League is doing. If you want to look at what League of Legends is doing, they have like a gacha system where the best skins in the game now. So before, what it was, pay like $30 and you get like a ultimate skin. Ultimate skin is basically like the best skins in the game, and they have like a bunch of features and stuff. But recently, Riot figured out that they're not actually making as much money as they could be on these like high-end skins, and so they added a gacha system that has like really low rates, but guaranteed pity at like 80 rolls. And so that evens out to $250. If you really want, let's say, Arcane Fractured Jinx, this skin, which by the way, a lot of people have. So like it kind of worked. This Jinx skin, right? One of the main characters from Arcane, so they're kind of like trying to cash in on that too. You will be paying like $250 pretty much for this skin. They've kind of gone all in on the whale model. I wouldn't want to be that way. The reason why Riot has to do shit like this is not really greed, but it's because they're just a mismanaged company in general. For like ever since 2020, they've just like been spending a shit ton of money during like COVID times on projects that just don't work. They're in the like times when they have to squeeze their player base for a shit ton of money, and it's like really cringe. You generally don't want to do things like this, but when I say whale model, like it's more just talking about if you're like a super dedicated player who has money that they want to spend, then there's like cool things that you can get in Tetris. Anything like a $250 skin or like whatever the fuck Valorant does with like $150 bundles and stuff, like I wouldn't want to go close to that kind of thing. Can we add a $500 faker skin? Yeah, it's the Diao skin. You can get Ickley blocks for a $500 with his signature. It's tough to be profitable and moral in the modern era. I mean, like, moral, it's a very weird term to use because people use moral to describe like monetization that they don't like, but what makes it immoral is, let's say, a like Louis Vuitton bag immoral. Maybe for reasons outside of a luxury good, yes. But like, let's say like buying a nice watch or something. Like, is that immoral? Not really. What I'm trying to say is that it's hard to actually like have a good definition for it, because then you can say like, oh, well, when you make like a nice watch, for example, right? There's like this level of craftsmanship that goes into it, right? Whereas if it's a video game skin, it's just like pixels that gets made once, then you can sell it an infinite number of times. So it can't justify its own price, but you like price it that way because people will pay it. I personally would want more people to be able to experience a nice skin if we were to make it, right? As just like a personal game design decision. But for monetization, like I feel like the word moral gets misused a lot. If they hire psychologists to figure out ways, okay, yes, that's where I would draw the line. If you have behavioral psychologists working on your monetization system, you're immoral. You know, never mind, I found the line. Good job. Has Tetrio had physical merch in the past? Would you guys consider physical merch in the future? Yes, actually. The logistics behind that would be weird, especially because like Tetrio is a game played all around the world. It's like kind of tough to have that work in enough countries to have the player base be satisfied. Another thing that I think is really cool would be some kind of physical reward for like the end of season high ranks in Tetra League. So for example, like something that Riot Games used to do way back in the day was they used to have backpacks with a challenger emblem on it for the highest rank. So everyone who got the highest rank in the game, which was like 100 people, right, on each server, would be shipped out a backpack. One year they did a hoodie with the player's username on the back. These kinds of like physical rewards are really cool, but the reason they stopped doing it was because like there was a lot of boosting issues and like just the logistics behind it got kind of complicated. A ginormous Surge plush that I can haul at people. That's pretty funny. When do I get my X Plus backpack? Someday in the future, when we add the Battle Pass, the Tetrio Gacha, we add $500 diao blockskin, we add what other monetization? In-game sports betting on Tetrio matches. You can hit a parlay on TWC. What else can we do? I mean, really, it all comes down to gambling when you look at the best monetization strategies. We make our own Monopoly Go spin-off, and we make Tetrio Block Party. Get a stake sponsorship. Yeah, true. Every single game, it'll just have the stake logo. Instead of live at the top left, it'll be stake. Watch ads for a Quick Play 2 revival. Watch ads to have your TR loss or double your TR gain. Here's the best part, okay? We then fix the odds. We start paying influencers. We get Wumbo. We give him $500 of credit in the game. We cook the odds, so he'll like hit a huge payout, and then we'll have him post that video to YouTube. Oh, now we're talking, bro. Yeah, it's kind of funny how like I'm trying to come up with predatory like monetization schemes for the bit, but really the only thing I can think of is just gambling. It all leads back to gambling. Didn't people get in a lot of trouble on CSGO for this? Oh, absolutely, yeah. Fucking T. Martin. Dude, he has his dog in the beginning to try and garner sympathy. And he's in his fucking mansion with the car in the background.
I have no idea how I'm gonna record this video, dude. Alright guys, so I'm gonna try to make this as short and sweet as possible. I don't want to take up too much of your time. But first and foremost, I do want to say that I love you guys. You guys seriously mean the...
Diao in 6 months, yeah. I love that video. That video gets me every fucking time, man. He hit like 3 to 4 cliches in 10 seconds. I mean, like, he kind of invented the game for shitty apologies. It feels like he kind of wrote the textbook on it, you know what I mean? Like, they're cliches because he did it first. Or, not did it first, but like, he was the first one to do it all together. Like, those kinds of cosmetics can take you pretty far. Because, I mean, the game doesn't need to be, like, absurdly monetized. It just needs to cover its cost and, like, allow for more staff or, like, artists and stuff. Thoughts on announcer sound effects? I've never actually been that big of a fan of, like, announcer packs and stuff, but it's some people's thing. Okay, what's with the, like, needing to price something at $250? Like, you really don't have to monetize things that much. You can make like fucking, you pay 20 bucks and you get a full decked out loadout and then you're chilling. And people will buy that. Enough people will buy that the game's monetized fine. You can buy a loadout for $5, you can buy a loadout for $10, $20, have that price range, and then pretty good enough. It's not like this is a public company with shareholders that are fucking at our throat. Original Thread was created in 2023 by Westel and recently gained attention due to the copious amount of My Little Pony usernames. I'm not sure who started it. A bunch of players thought it'd be really funny if they name changed to different My Little Pony characters. Yeah, like, it's gotten pretty bad where there's just like a fuck ton of My Little Pony characters all over the place and no one knows who they are. Anyways, let's read the original thread here. God's sake, please have a feature where you can see people's past usernames. I've so many people friended, and every once in a while someone will come online with a username I've never seen before. It's awkward to talk to someone who seems to know you, but you have no idea who they are. I agree with this. Yeah, this is something that is planned for the redesign, but for that to come earlier probably wouldn't happen just because we would have to like remake a whole bunch of UI that'll eventually get scrapped anyways. As of right now, we have username changes, but the restrictions are you can only do it if you're a supporter and you can only do it once a month. That's pretty lax, right? And you'll see, like, for example, some players like Ellie will have a different name every month. That is an issue. Some proposed solutions, if you look at how Osu does it, pricing to discourage people from cycling through usernames quickly, where your first one is free, and then $8, $16, $32, $64, and then after that, every future name change is $100. If you really want to, you can just fucking drop 100 on it. Generally, like, people at that point won't name changing frequently, and this is based on the number of times within the last 3 years. So if you like wait long enough, then these will go down. I don't think anyone actually pays $100 to change their Osu name, right? Is there any like documented proof of someone doing this? Yes. Holy shit. This is how we balance the budget. All right, I figured it out. Chat, I figured out how we're paying for season 3. Don't cap it, just make it grow exponentially.